Tally ho, friends, and welcome to the first episode of Kupo Quest Eorzea. This is a new actual play set in the world of Eorzea from Final Fantasy XIV using the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop system. So, I'd like to introduce our cast here. This is the lovely cast of the actual Kupo Quest. So we have the same group here that we have on our normal game, but we're doing this little side game to try out the new system. So, I will say this group of people is amazing role players. They're very good, but do bear with us. This is a new system and a new VTT too. So first time we're trying out alchemy as well. So there may be some hiccups tonight. We might have to look up some rules, and I'll do my best to explain the rules as we go too, just because I think this is new for everybody. So,
also my camera's broken.
Also, Ace's camera's broken. If you want to know what he looks like, go over to the regular Kupo Quest. You can see 64 episodes of him there. But
dear God, we've been doing this for too long.
We've been doing it for long enough. We should just stop. All right, well that's it, everybody. Getting into this. So this will be a set in the world of Eorzea from Final Fantasy XIV, like I said, and we will be playing through basically the starter set that came out a couple months ago. So, before we get started, let's just go around and introduce our characters. Now, when we start this game, these characters will have already met each other. So what I want to do is, and I didn't prep anybody for this, so it's going to be fun. Well, don't look at me like that, Fishy. I'll start with Fishy, since you gave me that look.
Oh, that's great.
Here's what I need from you. Describe your character. Just give us a little bit of backstory, whatever you want. Not anything. You don't have to go into like the whole big backstory. And then one way in which you know one other player. So pick a player, and how do you know them? And then that person will go next until we close the circle.
Okay. My character is a Ro something.
Rogadin.
That one. I'm very not experienced in Final Fantasy, if we can't tell. He's the black mage of the group. He's very tall. He's kind of like a D&D Goliath, essentially. I'm basing this on a 5th edition wizard I used to play. So he's essentially kind of like a Goliath, but he's like a rogue, or a Rogadin. He's got some tribal tattoos that help influence his magic. And before becoming such an awesome black mage, he was a gravedigger in his home area. And let's say maybe we met Kin. He came and visited my area, my home or something, and we ended up going on a mission together.
Okay. So Kin, that would mean you're next.
Okay. Funnily enough, Ken is from Ul'dah, where the Black Mages Guild is. So I thought that was very funny that you chose him.
Perfect.
Oh, wow, that is funny.
Spoiler alert, too. Our mission will begin in Ul'dah in just a moment.
Let's go.
Yeah. Shit! I just realized that means we won't be able to be low key if Ken is there.
So, Ken.
Anyways,
give us some backstory.
Ken is a pure white mage. We're not gonna do the whole Midlander or Highlander because I still don't know the difference, and I've been playing this game for about 5 to 6 years.
Fair enough.
He has dark brown skin, shaved head. He's wearing like the classic Final Fantasy white mage vestments, and he has a very fancy cane that was gifted to him by the White Mage Guild leader. I sent a picture to the chat, and he's kind of just very quiet, shy, almost like a priest type. And I'll say he met, let's say, Kat's character.
Killer. Cat left
Killer.
Forever ago. It's Killer now.
Okay, Killer Bubbles character.
Zaxi.
During I don't know, he was probably sent somewhere and she needed healing. But it would be like a group thing where a bunch of people needed healing.
Okay.
Yeah, he kind of just
go ahead.
Yeah, he kind of just goes wherever he really just went wherever the White Mage Guild sent him to until recently.
Okay. Zaxi, where do you think you would have been where you would have required healing? I imagine you probably found yourself in many spots where you would need that.
So many spots. Zaxi is a Mikote, so kitty girl. She is very characteristically like a orange tabby coloring, so orange and blonde and all those pretty colors. And she for once ever does not have any sort of dark backstory. She just loves her life and loves her job. She's a dragoon, so
Iconic.
she so she just jumps around and stabs things and just does it for the lulz. Um so she probably was, and this is where I'm thinking she also knows psychic character. There was probably a uh like a battle like training session where they had some of the fighters trying to like train to be better, and they got it they got injured. Something happened or they got injured. But that's also where Zaxi knows Psychic's character, because we were probably in the same like training camp.
Okay. Okay. Which brings us to Voln, played by Psychic.
Hi. Yes, Voln is a Lalafell because I just think it's hilarious that Lalafells are tanks because it's iconic. Voln is a kind of a half a new tank. They were trying out a few things. They weren't really sure what they sat with. They didn't really like being a paladin. They didn't really like being a anything else. So they were like, you know what? I'm gonna just be a warrior. I can do my own thing. Voln originally does actually has met everybody in numerous instances because Voln is absolutely fascinated with Hawk Manor, which Final Fantasy knows is level 28 dungeon. I have played this game more than I care to admit.
Wait, are you just the guy that stands outside and runs everybody through it?
Voln is literally the tank that has like jumps into duty roulettes, jumps into leveling roulettes, and just takes people through the lower level ones. Specifically warrior. He's got other ones leveled up, but he likes warrior. He's doing this one.
Love it.
But he has met people, whether he's taken them through Hawk Manor, where he's taken them through the Copperbell Mines, Halatali. Totally name dropping because I was playing it last night.
Sure,
Oh my
sure.
god. He's basically the hot guy from Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, I love it.
But he's just obsessed with learning about people and obsessed with learning about like the dungeons and everything. So he's slightly obnoxiously annoying because he's like, I want to learn everything about everybody.
Okay.
So people have seen him, like I've met everybody a couple of times doing dungeons and stuff, but in a different role. But this is the first time that he's like, I vibe with warrior, so I'm gonna keep doing this one.
Okay.
And he just got his job thrown, which is
So
happy.
that actually brings me to the next thing I was going to say, is where we pick up. Most of you have just finally obtained the pinnacle of your class and received your job stone. So while you may have been training as a thaumaturge or as marauder, I forgot what turned into a warrior. You have recently just been granted your job stone from the guilds itself. Also, I'd like to point out for anybody watching this that we have a split cast here of 2 people that have played Final Fantasy XIV and 2 that have not. So we will see if the game translates to those who are unfamiliar with the source material as well. So this will be an interesting little experiment. So, our tale begins in the desert city of Ul'dah, a gleaming gem in the middle of a vast wasteland of heat and monsters. I mean, it's pretty. The region of Thanalin is beautiful, but desolate for the most part, with the exception of Ul'dah, this shining, beautiful oasis in the desert. The 4 of you have recently decided to take up arms together and maybe take on some odd jobs. You've met each other once or twice, as you just discussed in your previous adventures, and there's just something about this group that you think has some promise to it. Our journey begins in the quicksand. A little bar, a pretty famous little watering hole in the city of Ul'dah. And yes, I went into the game and took screenshots of the places we would be going. That is exactly what I did.
So funny.
I love it.
You don't know how long I spent running around the corner of this place trying to find the best angle.
I love that.
It's a good thing you don't have mods in your game, because you would have been in for a very rude awakening.
Yep. Pure. Took away the UI. Just pure, unadulterated, just beautiful. I had to find the quicksand. I forgot where it was. I don't hang out in Ul'dah much. So,
No one does.
the four of you are having a nice, quick, early lunch, kind of just discussing your prospects. You've recently just formed this group, maybe done an odd job or two before. But up until now, you've not really had an opportunity to take on anything substantial. If you'd like, we can do a little RP here, or I can just jump into the first little thing.
I forgot to mention, for those who don't know, here are basically this world's humans. I realized
fair.
everyone was giving descriptions of their guys. I was like, oh, I just said here.
They're just humans. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always
Literally
just a
all I
human.
said was Lalafell small Lamau.
Yeah, I actually think that Kin would be late to the lunch, and you guys would be confused because you all went to bed together, and he would come in looking a bit exhausted because he normally spends you guys would know this, every time he goes into a town, he goes to a lot of the poors and slums, and does a lot of medical work in helping various doctors and healing people.
Aw. He's
Yeah,
like,
That person, Kin's the person you see when they jump out of a dungeon, they're like a little bit low on health, gives them a Benny.
yeah, but also Ken is 19, so you guys do not think that he should look as stressed as he does.
I like how all of your characters in Kupo Quest are like super stressed out young people who just have way too much on their plates. Are you trying to tell us something? So yeah, the three of you have waited a while, probably about 45 minutes, just wondering where Ken is. When eventually he shows up, kind of busting into the quicksand, looking just kind of ragged, already tired, and it's like 11:30.
My apologies, dear friend. There were some people who wished to gain my attention, since this is my place. This was my home at one point, and also I decided to help a few people in need.
I'm just glad you're here. I am so hungry, and we were waiting for you to get the food.
Well, why didn't you just order without me? I would have been fine. I would have been fine.
Ooh.
Well, we didn't want to assume, and she just she does a little poke your nose playfully
Oh my god, this is my favorite character already.
my apologies. You all just wait a bit more. Lunch will be on me. You see, he gets up and immediately goes to go order for everyone.
Okay.
Vaughn is just kind of grabbing his drink. We're like, I already ordered.
It's around that time that one of the waiters just comes down and puts down a huge plate in front of Vaughn, much bigger than you would think his tiny body could ever actually eat. But you burn a lot of calories being a warrior, lugging that big great axe around.
I have to know who has not ordered.
I think just Vaughn.
Zaxi and yeah.
Okay.
Zaxi and Bell.
Yeah, then he would have paid for their 3 meals then.
Okay. Perfect. So, a little bit of time goes by, and then this small red-headed Lalafell walks up, and she's got those kind of Princess Leia buns on top of her head, and she's carrying all of your plates, except for Vaughn's, who is pretty much almost done at this point eating. As she comes, most of you would recognize her, especially those that have been around Ul'dah for a while. So that would be you, Ken, and also Bell, because the Black Mage. The Black Mages Guild is here as well, so you would have spent some time here.
What a terrible spot.
Say what?
What a terrible spot for mages. Why are we around a bunch of sand in the heat?
That's a good question. Probably because one of the other options is like the middle of the woods, and they don't want you burning it down.
Yeah,
That's
you guys.
probably one.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you guys can't. You can't have Gridania.
Yeah, all right.
You can't have Gridania. Limsa,
Yeah.
no one, don't go to Limsa.
Yeah, that's just a bad
That's where the
place.
RPs are.
We hate role players. Ugh.
I have to unlearn like all of the Final Fantasy knowledge I have so that I can enjoy this.
Oh,
Because
that's
every time someone says one thing, I'm like, "That's like this," or "What about that?" I'm like,
that's the other thing. Please try to keep any game knowledge out of this because we also have
Trying
two people who
so
haven't. So if there is,
hard.
this scenario does tie into the MSQ. So let's
Oh,
just make sure
no.
not to spoil it for the other two.
Oh,
Okay.
yikes.
Anyway,
Why are you doing this to me?
you would recognize her as Momodi. She's the proprietress of this place. I've got your food here. She sits it down in front of you. Sorry it took so long. We're a little short-staffed today.
Oh, it's never a problem, Momodi. Thank you for your help.
Oh, no problem. What all brings you to town?
Mostly business, I would assume.
Oh, you got a big job, do you?
No.
Not yet. Something always needs to be done.
Are you looking for some work?
Hmm? What's available?
Well, I just, someone came in earlier looking for some, adventurers or something that could help them out. But to be honest, most people have been out doing we haven't seen many people in here around for a while. You kind of look around and the quicksand is relatively quiet today. Apart from your group, there's maybe two other tables. One of them's being kind of loud and demanding, and one of the reasons that you can tell that things are taking so long because they keep sending food back and they keep just making a lot of noise. But if you're looking for work, I was asked to kind of spread the word about this job that's just outside the city. If you're interested.
Do you know what the job is?
Oh, of course I know what the job is. She kind of fixes her hair. You see she's very disheveled at the moment. It sounds like, are you familiar with Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern? Those of you from Ul'dah can roll.
That was a garble. I did not hear that.
Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern.
Oh, okay.
Those of you that have ties to Ul'dah can roll me an intelligence check with advantage. Those that don't can roll me an intelligence check straight up. Mainly because I wanted. We got our first natural one of the game. First rolls of a natural one. Amazing.
Luckily, I get advantage.
That's the thing. Nice. I couldn't figure out how to program in the advantage, so we will have to just roll 2. I still gotta look into that. So just so you know, everybody, I had to kind of do this from the ground up in alchemy. So
you did a very good job.
Thank you. There's no official system for this yet. Oh my god, another one! All right, so Belle got a 15 and a 15. And then it looks like, let's see.
I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy eating and drinking.
Okay. Zaxi and Belle. Did you roll again, Ken?
I did. I got a 14 this time.
15 was what I was looking for. So, you heard the name. Those of you that got 10 to 15 have heard the name but aren't really familiar with what they do. Zaxi, I'm not really sure if it's just your travels, but you're pretty familiar with this group. Basically, they are... I don't want to say have the market cornered, but they're a big player in the mineral market of this area. They help with mining and most recently shipments of crystals back and forth from the mines. So they're a big name in not only specific ores that are used in different metal crafting in the city, because there's also a big trade school in the city for metallurgy. But they are one of the biggest names in crystal mining as well, and production and traveling back and forth. She kind of goes on, well, they had a large crystal shipment that they were shipping that got attacked on the road, and well, from what I hear, there were a couple people that died, and the entire shipment's gone missing. The guards have been stretched pretty thin. They haven't really been able to look into it, but that's quite a lot of money that was tied up in that went missing, and they were looking for some help to maybe track down who did it. Does that sound like something your group would be able to handle or interested in?
Zaxi is eating one of those comically large like anime buns that they always look so delicious.
Mhm.
And she's just like munching on it, and she's like, we could maybe find some crystals too. These guys are pretty legit. I think we can handle that, right guys?
If it helps, they didn't specifically state how much they were willing to pay, but I do know that the concern is very, how shall I say, generous with paying the adventurers they hire.
I'd want to hope so. Costs a lot to upkeep this. Also, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't really paying attention. I was too busy eating, but I'm down.
Oh, so you think you would take the job then? I can give you the details if you're interested.
We could. Hopefully, it won't be too difficult.
Somewhere new to look around? I'm getting a little tired of the manor. Beautiful decorum. Boring dungeon.
Why do you go there so often then?
I'm a fan of interior design.
Oh, I've actually
If
been
you're
thinking
gay,
about
just say
redoing.
that.
I've been thinking about redoing my living room if you're also looking for some additional side work.
Oh, I don't do housing, sorry.
Oh, it took me forever to get this house.
It's
Anyway.
expensive.
It's expensive, and they've been doing this lottery lately, and I was just very, very unlucky for the longest time. But finally, I was only able to get a small plot.
My God. Wolf.
Anyway,
Fun fact, first time I did the lottery, got the house first try.
are you
Yeah.
kidding me? It took me weeks.
Ken will look at Belle and say, what do you think, Belle?
Bell, it's pretty typical for Bell to be quiet. He's not much of a talkative person. This would be known throughout the travels. But, I'd say, well, if it's something in a mine, it should be easy to find. Eventually it leads to a dead end, and there's only one way out.
It's the spirit? So, yes, you'll take the job.
Sure.
I suppose.
Amazing. Well, you know what? I should get a little bit of kickback. I found a group for them quite fast. I do have something that they had passed along to give out to anyone who was interested in taking the job. And she, 1 second. She runs off, and back behind the counter, you see her digging around for a minute. The counter's kind of tall where she's at, so she kind of disappears behind it. When she runs back, she places a small bag on the table. When you open it up, there are 4 different assorted little potion bottles in it. There are 2 potions and 2 ethers. So here's what these are. They are both secondary items. So what that means on your turn, so I'll just do a little bit of a rule thing for the people watching. On a turn in combat, you can do a primary action, a secondary action, and a movement. That secondary action can include using secondary items. The items are broken up in categories like that too. So the 2 potions, the base effect is restores 3 HP, and it's discarded upon use. The ether, the base effect is to restore 1 MP, discarded upon use. So you have 2 of each. You can, 1 MP, which is still 20% of your MP though. So you're thinking about it the wrong way, Fishy. I see your look.
All right.
They ask us, this is in the house, they ask us to, look at somebody making items. Look at that.
You're welcome.
They ask us to pass it along, and anyone who's going to take the job. I will say if you decide to skip out and not take the job, they will probably want to be paid back for those. But That's their problem, I suppose. Anyway, do you have any more questions? If not, I can point you in the right direction, but I can help you with whatever you want to know.
How much MP do ethers give?
1.
Okay. Is it EITHER?
ETHER.
ETH.
Ether?
You?
I've always called them ether.
I've always
I've
called
always
it
said
ether,
ether.
Okay. And we have 2 of each.
Yes. 2 potions, 2 ether. You're free to
Which
trade them
one's-
around as you want right now, but if an encounter starts, you can't start swapping them then. You can use them on other people, but you can't, say, oh, you have this.
Actually, I acted a bit too preemptively in adding them to my thing. I think that the 2 melee fighters should both get a potion, and both of the casters should both get an ether, or Bell should get both ethers.
I agree.
It does seem like that's probably how they designed this to be. That was my thought, too. I was like, they seem
What?
targeted.
So we're cool. Both you get a potion. Fishy, do you think Bell needs both ethers, or do you want him and Kin to have one?
No,
I'm
we can
cool
do
with
one
whatever.
each. We can
Okay,
do one
cool.
each. I restore mana pretty easily.
Dope. I'm going to remove this potion from my thing then.
Okay.
I'll just save it as an extra, or just in case I can't use the thing. Also, everyone make sure you add your things.
Yep.
You can just add how much it does into the.
And that was, just a reminder, those are flat. 3 HP or 1 MP. There's no roll for those. So,
3 HP.
and again, mark them as secondary. Because that does
You're
matter.
so right. Thank you. Hold on, I need
Okay.
to edit this.
So, does anyone have any questions for Momodi?
Not currently. Actually, no, I do have one.
Yeah.
Where do we need to go?
Well, the side
Are
of
we able to
attack.
take a...
The side of the attack falls under the jurisdiction of the stone torches. Actually, I believe if you're taking the job, I would head over to Blackbrush Station and search out a man named Warren there. He should be able to help you and get you guided on the correct path. That's where they said to meet up. I don't know the exact area of the attack myself. All I know is that the wagon went missing somewhere between here and the Nanawa mines.
I can take you all. There with relative ease. Me and my siblings used to run through the desert.
Alright.
It sounds like
Kin?
fun. Let's go.
Okay, well, enjoy
Feel
your
free to
meals.
lead the way.
And if you need me, just yell. And at this point, the rowdy table's like, Hey, we need more ale over here. It's been ages. Get your... And he just kind of cuts off as Momodi turns around and just gives him this look that immediately shuts him up. When you've got the chance, miss. Didn't mean to be rude. Kind of shifts in his seat. She turns back to you. Duty calls. And then she will head off to deal with the rowdy group.
I'm glad that she took care of that herself, because Zaxi would have absolutely started a bar fight.
Damn, I should have let that happen. You
Rule
still
number 1,
can,
don't
I
fuck with
guess.
Lalafels.
Oh yeah, they're scary. So, what are we doing? What's everybody want to do now?
Yeah, I'm thinking
Finished
just
eating,
like
he's just drinking.
yeah. I'm about to say I'm thinking just finish eating, then Ken leads the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Typically, you could use an aetherite portal in order to fast travel between different places. But those of you that have not been adventuring very much in Ul'dah have not actually attuned to the Blackbrush Station Ethernet crystal just yet. So unfortunately, or fortunately, we're going to have to take our chocobos out there. Luckily for all of you,
Oh
you
no!
all have a
What
chocobo that
shame.
you've been keeping in the stables. So now, I would like each of you to describe your chocobo. and what it looks
Oh,
like,
shit.
and give it a name.
Ken Riven's Chocobo's
You don't have to
name
name
is
it. You don't have to name it. I'm being mean, unless you want
I was
to.
just gonna name it my chocobo that I have in game.
I just
Well,
like
yeah.
You're not gonna believe is where the inspiration for Dragon King comes from. My chocobo's name is Liro.
really.
is
I have a confession to make. All of my pets and animals in games are very, very unoriginally named. My chocobo is Chocokins. That's its name.
yeah.
My pet from World of Warcraft for over a decade was named Petkins.
I love
Yeah.
I love that.
Ken's Chocobo is just a regular yellow Chocobo named Muffin, who is the exact opposite of him. They are very hyperactive, and also they are pretty small for a Chocobo. It's very clear you could tell they were the runt of the litter.
Okay.
And Ken loves this Chocobo a lot. Like the only time you guys have ever seen him get bad is when a handler was being uncharacteristically rough, and you guys had to stop Ken from beating this guy up.
Muffin, you said, right?
Yes.
Any chance that was named after Bluey?
No, actually,
Hey.
I just thought it was a cute name, and that's why my Chocobo in game is named Muffin.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, since you already have a name there for yours, Vaughn, what does yours look like?
So Liro is again just a regular yellow chocobo. They're the easiest ones to come across. No, that's a lie. Liro is a black chocobo because I am a little bit higher level. I already have a couple of other stones, but I'm focusing on warrior. So he's been around. He's managed to get himself a Grand Company black chocobo,
Okay.
as he is a lieutenant with the Maelstrom in Limta. This is like the football thing. Who's your team? But we don't like the other
Verdania,
one.
all the way.
But no. So his is actually a black chocobo that they managed to kit out specifically for Voln, mainly because he is a Lalafell, so they need to do things a little bit differently. But the Liro is a little bit smaller. Is definitely one that's kind of bred for Lalafells. So they're a
I
bit
was hoping it
smaller,
would be
but they're still.
giant. I was hoping you would have the biggest
No,
one.
I was thinking they were a fat chocobo, but no.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so Voln has a black chocobo named Liro that was given to him by the Grand Companies.
Amazing. And that was our two Final Fantasy players. Now we go on to the two that have not played it as they get put on the spot. Also, I will let you know that your chocobo can be pretty much any color. They don't have to be yellow.
Mine is pink.
I
And
love it.
she's like a lighter pink, but she's also got like little, like darker pink hearts on her cheeks and feathers. And her name is Momo, which is Japanese for peaches.
Beautiful.
Oh, cute.
Beautiful. And then finally, Belle.
Mine will be a moon white chocobo, and it will be named Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
Yes.
I love it.
I love when pets have human names.
I love it.
I think I'm going to do an internet poll to see who has the best chocobo. Community engagement. So you all make your way to the stables, you retrieve your chocobos, and you head out into the dusty sands of Thanolin. The ride to Blackbrush is pretty quick. It's not that far from Ul'dah. It would be a lot easier if you could port to the Aetherite. But for those of you that haven't been there, it's not a bad run. You do the dust, sand blows up in your face, and those of you from other areas not as accustomed to this do find it a little bit hard to breathe. But eventually, you find yourself in Blackbrush Station. First thing you'll notice when you get here is that most of the construction seems to be newer, really. Everybody, again, Give me an intelligence check. Those of you from Ul'dah can have advantage.
Yeah. We out here. Oh,
13, okay.
I did
8, 6, 7, 13. These are lower rolls.
309.
Bell, you can
Ooh.
roll again because you're from
Two
Ul'dah.
18s.
I already did that.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh
So,
boy.
A 1 and a
well,
2?
is that your second natural one?
Maybe.
I need to make sure I told it to roll yours as 1d20 and not 1d1.
1d1.
Oh my god.
It is a thing. I use it in a couple instances. It would be really. Hold on, let me see. No, it's a d20. there are certain instances where I have it roll a 1d1.
You're just
Hey, you need
really
to give some
unlucky.
credit. Need to give some credit to Bell. They rolled a 2, so it's at least a 1d2.
That's fair. That's fair. So, you know about Blackbrush Station. This is a marvel of modern innovation. Basically, the invention of the steam engine has really revolutionized the mining industry in this area. At one point, this was a very, very low manned outpost. But since then, since the mining boom, it has become a thriving little community on the outskirts of Ul'dah. So, a lot of the buildings, a lot of the construction here is newer, and but the traffic coming and going, there's quite a few people all kind of milling around. What do you want to do?
Vaughn is going to make sure that his equipment is all kind of set up and ready, and then he's just going to stand there and look at Kin.
Okay.
I'm not from here. And then he's going to turn to Bell. What do you two do it? And he's going to like stand behind both of them and start like pushing them
DM,
with
who
the
did you say
ankles.
we were looking for? What's
You're
first
looking
name?
for a here named Warren.
Warren, cool. You see, he says we're looking for Warren. All I know about him is he's a cure. My dad's done business out here before during his doctoring. But you see, he says, but that's all I really know.
Okay, so we're looking for a here.
You look around.
Vaughn is
There's a lot of here's.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them. More than anything else.
well. I'm just going to look and just start asking random people.
I was about to say, I'm just gonna go up to
Yeah.
the nearest piece of giant mining equipment.
I think we all had the same idea, which is just like walk up to random people and be like, "Hi, I'm looking for Warren."
Press E to interact.
Yeah, I was sitting here. There seemed to be like everybody's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, just ask people. I don't know. It doesn't actually take long. You ask one or two people. Everyone seems to know who Warren is, and eventually they point you over to this larger man that's got his back to you at first. You can see from the attire that he's wearing, though, that it doesn't mark him as a member of the Stone Torches, which she had mentioned it fell into their jurisdiction. Let's do it one more time. This time only those from Ul'dah roll history, or not history. Good lord, intelligence.
And none
Gotta
of
get
that in
used to
this
that.
game.
Yeah, the checks are very simple in this game. It's just your base attributes, essentially.
Oh, do we still have advantage or just a regular roll?
You
I
still
got
have
it.
advantage, yeah.
I got a 12.
Well, in that case, this is about to be like a 17.
Oh my god! You do that all the time. I've got a clip of you calling your natural 30.
30.
Yeah, or not
dude.
your natural 30, but your 30.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that again.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Okay, yeah. So you know that these the Stone Torches are basically a group of on like hired mercenaries that act as like permanent, like a permanent group of mercenaries. They were established by Frigais, which is the chairman of Amaji and Sons Mineral Concern. They protect the interests of the company. So they are
HR.
mercenaries implied by that they're soldier. implied by the company to make sure that their interests are kept. They kind of act as a pseudo police force in this area, just making sure that things don't disrupt operations, and they don't really care about minor offenses and things that people do, but they, as long as it doesn't affect the job of the company that's trying to carry out their business.
So like old Western style sheriffs.
Yeah. If they were
Gotcha.
employed by the bank. So, I'm
Really
assuming
glad
you're
that they
gonna.
don't care too much about minor offenses in the mining town.
That is also, for those of you new to the channel, I give out inspiration, one per game, for just puns, really terrible puns. Get you an inspiration. So, Vaughn, you have your inspiration for this game.
Yay!
And also very dirty jokes.
Oh yeah, that counts too. Dirty jokes and
Oh.
puns. That's what gets you inspiration in my games, and along other good RP and la 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 all that crap.
Blah blah yada yada.
So you do know where he's at. Who's going to go talk to him?
Me.
All of us, I would assume.
Like all at once? All four of you just going to walk up and start blah, 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 blah? Or someone leading?
At the same time. Well, it depends on who was the closest, I guess. Because I guess we all kind of split up, but we're looking at each other, like watching each other. So whoever was the closest to wherever Warren is hanging out.
Cool.
I would argue Bell would be.
I rolled a d4 to see who it was, and it was Bill. Quit calling all this. People are gonna think this is scripted.
We aren't that good.
Sir Warren, is that you?
He kind of turns around. Yes. Do I know you?
Now you do. I am Bell. This is my party, my allies. We were sent by, I say that person's name because I forgot at the
Amodi.
quick stand.
Oh!
Yeah, Modi.
You're the adventurers that... Oh. Amodi did send word that she'd found a group. Well, yes, of course. Thank you for coming so quickly. He turns back to the woman that he was talking to. Yes, see to that. I'm going to take care of some business. I'll check later. He turns back around. If you don't mind, let's step over here somewhere a little more quiet, and we can discuss the job. He kind of leads you off outside of the main encampment there, just away from most of the prying eyes and ears of the crowd. So, I assume Momodi has informed you of the basic details of the job, that a caravan of crystals has gone missing on their shipment back to Ul'dah.
Yep.
Did she tell you anything else?
We were told that the help was really needed.
That's true. Okay. So, I think it was, as best as we can tell, yesterday evening when the attack happened. They killed everyone involved in the transport. Most of our efforts, unfortunately, have been arrangements for the funerals of those involved, notifying the families. And quite frankly, the investigation into the actual attack hasn't begun in earnest. We just haven't had the manpower to really devote time to it. First and foremost, we had to make sure the departed were taken to their final resting place. So, that's why we've put out the call for adventurers to come and help get to the bottom of the bandits or whoever was attacked this, and hopefully track it down and retrieve it for us. Does that sound like something that your group could handle?
You did say they. Do you have any information on what it was or who it was that attacked your caravan?
Unfortunately, no. No, like I said, we haven't really had time to do a proper investigation. We did send a group of 4 out early this morning in search of them, but they did not return.
Okay.
So they are also assumed dead then.
It's rather early for that. It's only been about 12 bells or so now, but yes, we've heard no word from them. We've made calls out to the link pearls, and they have not responded. I can only assume the worst.
And the goal of this is to find your men, I'm assuming find your product, and get rid of whatever's...
That pretty much sums it up. We're looking for information on what happened, the location of the crystals, and if possible, their retrieval. Yes, our people as well, but I don't expect you to find them alive.
Yeah, I think you guys look at Ken, and I think you guys see that he seems perplexed, but he doesn't say anything.
Seems simple enough.
We will do our best to get this mission done for you, sir.
I appreciate that. I will let my bosses know. They have not stated the reward yet, but I do know that they will pay handsomely if you can retrieve the crystals.
Could you mark any positions on the map we have here, and Ken will pull out the area.
Sure. He takes the map from you, and he kind of circles a little spot not too far from Blackbrush Station. This is the site of the attack. You will find traces of a skirmish there. We've retrieved the bodies, but you can't really clean the blood from the sands. You'll know where the attack happened. There may be some clues that we overlooked in our haste, but that's where I would start.
All right, thank you.
This sounds like a
Simple enough.
job for us. Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear. I'm glad to have such enthusiastic adventurers taking the case. Well, if there's nothing else, he digs into a little bag he has and he pulls out some link pearls as well, and he hands them to the four of you. Any information, please radio back. Let me know. We can stay in contact this way. If you find anyone else, and he kind of turns the link pearl over, and you'll see that it does have the logo of the concern stamped onto it. You'll know they were our men because they'll have these on them. I will also tell you, I don't know if this will help your investigation or not, but the bodies we recovered, those that were killed with the caravan, all of their possessions were intact. It seemed that whoever was attacking the caravan was doing so specifically for that cargo. They didn't seem to take anything else off of the bodies,
Really
except for their
quick,
lives.
could you tell me what type of weapons were used to kill them? Was it slashing, bludgeoning?
Slashing. They were definitely swords or axes of some kind.
Swords or... Perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Again, please, let me know if you discover anything, and good luck.
Oh, all right.
Well, Warren, if we have to enter the mine, do you have blueprints or layout of it? A quick sketch or any tips for traveling through the mines?
Unfortunately, no, I'm not. I'm not allowed to give out that information. The concern considers the mine's proprietary information, and they don't want blueprints getting out, you understand. So while they exist, I would lose my post if I were to give them to you.
Thank you for your help.
Anything else I can do, let me know. Okay.
All right.
Ken will wait until Warren walked away.
He does so, yeah. At this point, if it becomes clear there's no more questions for him, he goes back to the duties he was seeing to.
Yeah, Ken immediately looks at Belle and he says, "Belle, you've lived in Old Dot all your life, correct?"
For the most part, yes.
Okay. So in your many years of living here, longer than me, frankly,
Mhm.
have you ever heard of bandits coming to attack in broad daylight?
Mhm. Mhm. God, have I?
God, have I?
Well,
Sorry, that's
so
Wolf's new nickname.
Warren did mention that the attack happened yesterday evening. So
Okay.
it may have
All right.
been
He'll
after
say.
dark, but
Gotcha.
that was still kind of unclear, but it wasn't like the middle of the day.
Okay. Cool. He says, in all my years here, I've only ever heard of attacks happening in the dead of night, but I wouldn't imagine that people would send people during that. Not only that, if they were bandits, they would have taken everything, including the clothes on their back. Especially bandits in the desert, they need it more than.
Feels like somebody would have known about this.
Hey, Belle, give me an
Hmm.
intelligence check. Just a straight one.
Wow.
Dude, what are you
Good.
doing? What are you doing wrong? For real. You've never heard of that. No, you're kind of in agreement with Ken that that sounds very odd.
Well, the thing about it is even in the few missions I've taken, sometimes the groups I've helped with healing have been attacked by bandits, and if I've seen someone killed before I could heal, I could get them up or we had to leave them. When we went to go check the body again, they would be completely picked clean. So why weren't these? I can't
It
think that you
is.
would care. You would care more about if you were a bandit. I don't see you only taking these crystals if you're gonna go through the effort of killing.
It is at least odd that food, water, skins, and weapons weren't taken off the bodies.
I think as we go in there, we should be on guard even more.
I agree.
All right, are you all ready to investigate?
Lead the
Yes.
way.
Okay. We're heading out then, are we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mounting back up on your chocobos and heading out the short way. You notice that he marked a place to the south, just a little bit to the south, um, off the road a little bit, which strikes you as a little odd. But we head out into the desert. You follow the road south to where the wagon was attacked. As you get close, you can see the deep red stains that mark the arid ground where the victims fell. Like Warren said, it's hard to clean the blood from the sand, and you see here the obvious marks of life lost. You can also see the splintered remains of broken crates littering the area. You do see that there are a couple guards that seem to be already at the area as well. As you approach, two of them kind of step forward. Halt! What business do you have here?
We
Ken
are
speaks up,
on a mission.
and oh, go ahead.
Oh, we are on a mission to find out what happened to the caravan that was supposed to be coming through here. Warren gave us the details, circled it on the map. Here we are.
Sent you to investigate, did he?
He's going to take the link pearl and like show the other side of it to like show the symbol that is on the pearl.
Give me a mind check with advantage. That's the closest thing
Mind check with
closest thing
advantage.
we've got to like charisma in this. So that's what I'm going with.
Oof, yikes! Ken definitely should have done it then.
We are going to use one because I don't know how to do
Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out the advantage thing. Four.
Interesting.
He looks at the
Dead
link
even.
pearl, just kind of looks you in the eye. Get out of here. We know that Warren already sent a different group out. You're just here to try to find out information or possibly return to the scene of the crime?
He sent a different group out, so you've already let someone pass here.
No, we're here because that group has been missing.
Yes, he sent
I
us
know
right
that they
after.
weren't you, though.
How long did it take us to get here?
Not that long, really. I mean, you've probably been 20, 30 minutes on Chocobo.
Yeah,
Be an
immediately,
hour to get back.
Ken. Yeah, Ken puts a finger to his ear and just calls Warren.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Have you found something already?
No, your men aren't letting us pass.
Hand him the link, Pearl.
Okay. He hands the man his link pro.
Dad wants to talk to you.
The man takes it, kind of puts it up, flips it. But sir, you have to. No. Understood. Yes. Takes it, hands it back to Ken. My apologies. It seems that your credentials have checked out. If you would like to have a look. He just looks like you can see his face is all red. He's super embarrassed. The guy that's standing next to him is just doing his best not to like just lose his mind laughing at this guy. But they both step aside and let you have access to the site. So,
Excellent.
Paul is just gonna start walking.
Looking for clues.
okay. Let's see. I got a little freedom here, I guess.
Ooh,
The
shit.
problem being the one thing that does that I haven't really decided on yet is the whole difference between charisma, wisdom, and stuff like that. Because I kind of leaning towards mind for the wisdom rolls as well. If translating this to systems we know, so everybody who's looking around, I will stick with. Let's go intelligence. We'll take it. Make it like an investigation or something like that. So give me straight intelligence checks. Those of you looking around for clues.
12.
19.
Thank God.
Natural 20. It's our first.
Nice.
So
My dice does go up to 20, guys.
did Fishy get both our first one and our first 20? Or did somebody else get the
Yeah, I
first one?
did.
Did you? Okay. Okay. We do
That's
look like
funny.
we're having some technical difficulties and have lost Ken momentarily.
Oh, no.
They should be back. So,
They got lost.
Um,
It's normal in the desert.
looking around, you
He's
do.
trying to cast cure on the bodies.
The bodies are gone. The bodies have been drug away. So, looking around, there's a couple things that you notice. First of all, everything I've already described: the blood, the broken crates. You do notice. It's not the thing is though that you see it not in the circle where you are. You kind of see something away from the actual area. Most of the area where it is, the sand's been kind of blown over or tramped down. You can see that there's things have been drug around. But something catches your eye probably 20, 30 feet outside of the perimeter that the guards have made. You walk over and you notice a very large, non-humanoid footprint.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I have no idea what happened. I am so sorry.
I would normally make you roll to see what this was, but the natural 20, I think you've earned enough little additional information. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you because you are from the area. You notice that the footprint itself is very large, and it has kind of 4 toes. You know, kind of very separated out, very animalistic. You recognize this as the footprint of Namalja, which is one of the kind of what the old Daw and general denizens of Eorzea refer to as beastkin. So they are still humanoid beings, but typically find themselves in opposition to the more sophisticated races, as Eorzeans tend to think of them.
Gotcha.
You can see why this was missed, especially in a hasty investigation that was mainly concerned with retrieving the bodies, because this again is not in the general area, and you only noticed it because you're pretty good at looking around. You're pretty good at investigating, really, and you thought to look outside of the general area of the perimeter. Now, there's a couple footprints leading in a general direction, but then after a while, the sand does kind of blow over and you lose the track. But you do see the general direction in which these footprints were headed.
Okay, yeah, I'll convene that information to the group, the name of the creature and the direction of the trail starting.
Oh, the Amalja. That's not good.
I don't know what you
Although,
mean.
That would explain why the bodies weren't stripped of anything, but why do they need so many crystals?
Oh, bloody hell! Those of you that are still in the encampment, you turn around and you see that one of the guards has drawn his sword. Hey, we've got company incoming. You all hear like the skittering of something, of things running towards you as the sand starts to kind of like billow up as though there was a sandstorm coming your way. Belle, you're further away from this because you had gone outside. Those of you inside, though, you can see these large creatures that are starting to burrow up from the ground, disturbing the dust around it, throwing it into the air, which is causing this kind of sandstorm-looking thing as these giant ant-looking creatures kind of crawl up nearby. You can see that the guards go to engage and start fighting them. Ken, as you're about to go, you feel something nearby start to under you as well. As you turn around, and it's two of them are emerging from the ground nearby, with the rest of the guards off dealing with the rest of them. We're gonna have our first encounter.
Yay.
So, those of you
Father,
that
I
in the
crave
game,
violence.
go ahead and click at the top that little tactical mode, and then I will bring.
Oh, that's so cool!
I will bring the stream
Ooh.
with us, and
How do we add
Stream,
our
come
token?
along with us to this new adventure.
There we go.
Zaxi doesn't do the full like magical girl spinning around, get into her costume thing, but she does do a very cool like spin with her spear, and then she gets into a position she's like, "Let's go!"
I'm about to say
love
you
it.
knew it was up. You had Belle stay in the back.
Well, Belle was off somewhere else,
That's
which is
true,
why
I
he's in the
was.
back.
Yeah.
You all place
Team.
yourselves anywhere below the line of the road there. Below the line of the road and between the two like trees. You can place yourself anywhere you
happy
want
where
to.
I am.
Okay.
Oh, let me sync the view.
Yeah, probably like between the trees, like over here.
No, I think like between like where Ken is,
Yeah.
like between those two trees.
Okay. Oh, I see now.
For some reason, your tokens have not appeared on the stream view yet.
Rude.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and
It's
start the
strange.
initiative. Once I started initiative, they came in.
Oh.
Weird. All right, so as encounters go in the Final Fantasy XIV TTRPG, adventures always go first, enemies go second, and we decide initiative amongst ourselves. So,
How about to say, do you guys mind if Ken goes first this round?
I was just about to ask you if Ken wanted to go first, because does Ken have
Oh
like
yeah.
It
Immediately,
does-
yes.
it does not change round to round.
Mm-hmm.
So once you pick it, that will be your initiative for the entire combat. Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting us know that, DM.
Yeah.
Ken will not be going first.
Yeah.
Vaughn will be going first.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe like Vaughn, Kin, Zaxi, Belle.
Yeah, I think in the middle's pretty good for pretty good for Ken regardless. Then he's either helping fix Volm's wounds and or helping your wounds preemptively or something.
Yeah.
And the black mage stays in the back and does big boy explosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
I've
mean,
got
that's fair.
Vaughn, Ken, Zaxi, Bell, then the enemy step.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. I've been excited just to see what encounters are like. So, Vaughn, you are up first.
Yes. Yes. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk the 2 tiles forwards, making sure that we are in range, and I'm immediately going to use my primary ability, Overpower. What Overpower is, it is a all enemies within a range, which is a 5x5 area centered on my character. And what it does is it inflicts enmity on all targets. It is a strength, and it is against the CR of the enemy.
Okay.
The direct hit deals 2 damage to all targets, and they should now have enmity towards myself.
They do.
I did not know enmity was a thing in this game.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I am going to, because
So
I do not know...
It does 2 damage as a base effect, right?
Yes. So it deals 2 damage... 2 direct hit deals 2 damage to all targets.
Oh, on a direct hit. Okay.
The check is a d20 plus 4 against the target's defense.
So your attack roll was a 2. Let's see. Yeah, it did. So what's your... Is it... Let me double check. You rolled a 2 with Overpower.
Okay.
Let me just make sure it's not supposed to add anything else to that. And again, I had to program these in, so there may be instances where I missed it, so we'll just pay close attention.
Yeah, it says a d20 plus 4.
So it should have had plus 4, so it's 6. That still is not high enough to do a direct hit. So without... So you do not get the additional 1d6. So 2 damage on each, but 2 damage on each, enmity, and that's it.
Cool. And then I am going to, because I am the tank, I am going to use my secondary ability of Rampart.
Okay.
Which isn't here, but essentially what that is that it will reduce the damage I take from all abilities by 2 until the start of my next turn.
Amazing. Okay. Is that it for you?
That is it for me, and I will be back in a second. I am sorry.
Ken, you're up.
Cool. Ken is going to, instead of doing a primary on his first turn, he's just going to do a secondary and another secondary. Because he still needs his movement. You see he pulls out his... This is a new program. He pulls out his cane, and you see he simply looks at it. And you guys have seen this before, as you see the wind begins to blow around him as he speaks, and he says, "To me." And from him, a burst of wind shoots out as he is going to use both of his secondary attributes, or secondary, what's it called? Secondary actions to cast Aerial on both of them.
Okay.
It inflicts 3 dots on the target. I don't remember if that's on each of their turns or whatever.
The dots happen at the end of, I believe, the enemy step. So dot 3 on both targets. Perfect. Just remind me at the end of the enemy step that they take 3 damage.
What does enemy again?
At the end of their turns, basically.
Cool.
So, like, they'll have their turns, then they take the 3 damage.
Cool. And then he's going to move behind this tree so he does not get hit.
Perfect. Okay. Zaxi, you're up.
I'm gonna, do my little hop forward, and I'm going to do a little combo here. I'm gonna do True Thrust first.
Are you doing it on the one on the left?
Yeah, the one on the left.
Okay.
True Thrust first. So it's gonna automatically do 3 damage, and then if 18 is a direct hit, it'll hit 5 damage.
18 is a direct hit, so an additional 5 damage.
That's 8 damage total. And then I'm also going to do a disembowel.
Okay.
which again, same sort of thing. It'll do 3 damage, and then if it's a direct hit, it'll do whatever I roll.
16 is a direct hit.
Yep. So that still says the +3, by the way, for the disembowel damage. It's 3d1
Sorry.
+3, so you might want to fix that.
Well, disembowel does 3 damage even on a base.
Yeah, but you have it 3d1 +3 in your...
Oh, I see what you're saying from before. Right.
So it says 6, but it should say 3.
Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you for that catch.
So that's an additional 5 damage. That's my primary action. And then I'm going to do a secondary action. I could do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I could do that.
Yeah, your primary
I'm
combo, so yeah, you still have a secondary action.
And phase is for like this whole situation.
This
right?
whole thing will be a whole phase, yeah. So for this particular one, it's once per this encounter, essentially.
Cool. I'm just gonna do it then. I'm gonna sweep his leg.
Okay.
And then it's gonna stun the target until the end of this turn.
Okay. Stun character cannot act during their turn or use instant abilities, and all markers for which they are the creator are removed. Okay. So this one on the left is stunned and will not move on his turn. Perfect.
Kicked his butt too.
All right.
That's for second.
Zaxi, that's it for you,
Take
right?
even less damage.
Yep, that's it for me.
Bell, you're up.
Bell. What weapons do black mages typically use?
A staff.
I like it. Bell will kind of do a little twirl of the staff, and he'll stick it into the sand, and he'll start to cast. With consecutive invocation, it just says an invoked spell. So any of my invoked spells, I don't have to do like a thunder, then another thunder, right?
Right, no. Anything that says invoked.
Oh, yeah, that's sick. All right. So I will shoot a thunder at the left one.
Okay.
Hey, good job.
Where's my thunder? Here it is. Blam!
3 damage.
They are not. They're rolling 1d1s.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a base effect of 3 damage. That's meant to do it because I can't do it any other way. It does 3 damage.
It's supposed to roll to hit too.
Um.
Oh wait, no,
with-
not thunder. Sorry, nope.
Yeah, not with
You're
thunder.
right. Yep,
Yeah,
Yep.
that one I got right.
No,
Learning
you're right.
curve.
And then that gives me consecutive invocation. So
Uh-huh.
I will use that, and I will forego all my movement. And with
Okay.
my invoked invocation, I will cast sleep on the 2 sentries.
Okay.
Does
So-
the sleep wear off if they get hit?
No,
Okay.
no, it doesn't do what D&D does.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So,
sleep. I assume this will roll the spell because it's a hit thing versus their mad defense. Yes, it does. So
Hey.
it's a 20 breaks their magic.
20 definitely against their magic defense. Definitely hits. So that's another thing about this game. Depending on the type of attack, the creatures have both a defense and a magic defense, so the DC is different for magic versus standard attacks. Okay. Stimulate until you return to do an additional invoked primary ability. That's what I wanted to check. Damn, you get 2 primary abilities off with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sleep. Perfect. So all targets incur a -2 penalty on all checks because that 20 would hit both of them.
And
This
this doesn't occur yet, but the direct hit as well, because I did hit them.
right. They don't have any markers generated.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what that means yet, but
So, otherwise, yeah, so -2 penalty on all attacks. And the one on the left has an additional .3 on it. So
They
it
both
will be
do.
taking...
6.
no, his Thunder. You use Thunder or Thunder 2?
Just thunder one.
So the
Just thunder.
left one has a 2.3s and the right one has a 1.3.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay. It's their turn. The one on the left, however, has been stunned, so it can do nothing. The one on the right it will move down 1. And then it's going to use its Trap Jaws ability on our tank. So we will take 2 off of this when I roll it. Actually, I don't know if you'll see it or not. Is it
What ability is that one?
The adventure step is our turn, right?
Yes, the adventure step has happened. Do you have something that...
Cool.
Oh, yeah, because you get MP back
yeah,
at the end of your
mana.
adventure step. So that is
Oh,
now
you're
over.
so right. Thank you.
And now we're moving into the enemy step. What's your question?
What abilities are these? Because I know that we have our abilities, but do creatures have different abilities as well?
As in primary, physical. That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
A primary physical ability. Are you asking because of an instant ability you have?
Yes.
Yes. Primary and physical.
Cool. Don't think I can use mine with the physical.
Okay. Base effect, it does 5 damage to you. I believe you take some...
-2 from Rampart.
Okay, right. So then you would take 3 damage from that. And then... Did it roll? Okay, it didn't, because the GM rolls are secret. Love it. Anyway, it rolled an 18 with its -2 penalty. That's a 16. Does that hit your physical defense?
Yes, it does.
Then you would take an additional 8 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
He is then placing a marker that's going to go... Let's see, it's not showing up on the stream. Can you all see my marker or not? Or my measuring? Okay. So it's a cone. It's centered in front of him, right on Vaughn. So it's Vaughn square, the 3 squares behind Vaughn with Zaxi in the middle, and then the 5 squares behind her, like directly behind her, just up and down. Does that make sense? Like a cone. He has placed a marker there.
Really quick, is this considered an enfeeblement?
No,
Okay.
that is not.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
I'm going
I
to
tried,
use
guys.
my instant ability, Interject.
Okay.
Which I can do. Instant abilities, you can do at any time, as long as the
Trigger happens.
criteria is met. As he is, he's using I'm assuming this is an invoked ability to generate a marker?
No.
No? Never mind then.
Yep.
That's
I'll
gonna
tell
be
you when the abilities are invoked.
confusing. Alright, cool. So I took 8 damage directly, but what's the other damage I took? Minus the 2?
Did you get the other damage minus the 2 is 3.
Okay. Oh, from all abilities, minus 2. Okay. Oh, minus the 2 from the other. Okay, yep, cool. Sorry. I'm good.
Oh, no, it's all new. I told everybody at the top
Good.
this would be different because
got
it's all
this.
new. Okay. It is now the end of the enemy step.
Go
Meaning-
ahead, get that aereo damage.
This guy takes 6. And the one on the right takes... Oops. The one on the right takes 3.
Oh, right, because only one of them got hit with lightning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I was having trouble following.
Then we're back to Vaughn.
Yes.
You're up.
Excuse me. I am going to... that one over there is stunned. I am going to... let's see. A range of 1 square. Alright, the one that's stunned, I am going to use my warrior combo of heavy swing and maim.
Okay.
So let me use that.
So 2
Takes the 2
damage, and that will be it because... Wait, is this adding your...
Yep, no
4?
direct.
Okay.
Oh, plus 4 is so
Well,
14.
Is it adding? It is, though,
It
because it's
added
got
it,
6.
Oh, it
and-
is adding it.
Yeah.
How come I didn't add the other? Anyway, who cares? Cool. So that's that. I do have one massive issue with this tracker, is the fact that my scroll wheel affects both.
Yeah, it doesn't happen to me. I don't know. Are you on the website, or are you on the... like
Yeah, I am downloading the program later. Cool. So that is that. I can combo at any point during my turn. if there is a combo for it, and I'm going to look at the first one that I just tried to hit, and I'm going to use my combo, which initiates Storm's Path.
Okay.
Another roll at any point in my turn. So that is the 2 damage.
18 is a direct hit.
So he will take 3 extra damage.
Okay. So a total of 5.
Yep. And
Perfect.
with Storm's Path, I also restore 2 of my HP, which is always nice.
Beautiful.
And then with my secondary ability, I'm going to turn to the one that has just generated the marker, and I'm going to use Low Blow,
Okay.
which
Is that-
stuns the target until the end of this turn.
Okay. Until the end of this turn. Not to
Yeah.
the end. So that's just to the end of your turn. Does it remove all markers then? Is that what it says?
Stunned character cannot act during their turn or use instant abilities, and all markers for which they are created are removed.
Oh, to the end of this turn would be the actual
adventure.
full
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
then, I guess.
Yeah, it would be till
okay.
the end of my turn.
That
to the end
makes a
of
lot
to the
more
end of
sense.
the. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking your turn.
Yeah, no, till the end of my
That's a
turn.
real short time.
Yeah,
Any-
that would have made sense for a stun.
I mean, it's just enough to get rid of a marker. Any character stunned by this ability cannot be stunned again during the. Hold on a minute. This is interesting. A stunned character cannot act during their turn or use instant abilities. All markers which they are the creator are removed. Yeah, I think that's worded weird by saying this turn. I think it should say until the end of a certain phase or something. But yes, that doesn't make sense just to be one turn. Otherwise, it would just say removes all markers. Okay, so the one
Yeah.
on the right is now stunned.
I mean, let's be honest,
Yeah.
that's why we use Low Blow in the game, is to just stop a generated attack. So,
That's pretty much it.
fair enough.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, so I'm going to, so I'm going to hit this bottom one with Low Blow to stop the markers.
Perfect. Now, I will say,
I'm going to do his little swingy
I
swing.
believe now the targets cannot be stunned again during this encounter.
I was about to say that. I was like, after their turn, once they are not stunned anymore, they cannot. Neither of them can now be stunned.
Something to keep in mind. Okay.
But yeah, so hitting the other one still inflicts enmity. So the other one is still, I've still got the little red icon on the left-hand side of the screen.
Yep.
Thanks for that, to me.
I've got their enmity marked on here.
Hell
So,
yeah. And that'll be my
that's
turn.
you? Ken,
That is
you're up.
me.
Cool. How's Vaughn looking?
He's taken some damage, but I think he's looking okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your boy is going to cast Stone on which one was hit with lightning? Because I know that's the one that's been hit the most.
The one that's kind of the
That one.
north, the further
one
one on
that's-
the left.
So the one that's above Zex.
Yes.
Cool. He's going to cast Stone on that one, and it deals. Okay, and it deals an additional 1d6 if it gets a direct. So don't.
It
fail
is
me
a
now.
direct hit, so that is 5 damage. Wait.
Yeah, it does. No, it deals 2 damage. But I don't think a 9 is a direct.
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked over and saw Storm's Path.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think 9 hit.
9 doesn't. No, I was looking at the wrong
Yep.
thing.
So
My
just
bad.
2 damage as a bunch of rocks shoot up from the ground. And then
Easy to
as
find. They
my-
just kind of rise up from everywhere and slam into this thing.
Then I'm going to use my secondary action to just do a quick cure on my boy. He's definitely within range. Ooh, wait, I forgot about MP. Oh, that would only be 2. Yeah, cure on my boy. Let's roll for cure 1, cure 2. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's just regular. Alright,
So
and
cure-
you get... Jesus!
Yeah.
Oh, that's just 1d20.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
what?
you,
Why is
yeah.
it a
So
D20?
this is the way. that the cure spells work. The base effect is they restore 1d6 plus 1 HP. So you rolled a d6, you got 3 plus 1, that's 4 HP. They have a special. You roll a d20 just to see if it crits. So the d20 is just a crit check.
I'm confused. Where did it... Oh, it rolled above it. I just didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, it makes two separate rolls. So it rolls your first one. That's just the plain healing. And then the second one is your special d20. It's basically to see if it crits. So
Cool.
4 health.
And, you hear the classic the classic cure sound as a bit of green energy circles around you.
Okay. Ken, do you have anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No.
Zaxi.
Hello. I'm gonna hit it a couple times.
Go for it.
So I was adding trackers for myself so I could keep track of how often I'm using each of my secondary abilities.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Thank you. I have them occasionally. I'm gonna hit this guy. Speaking of good ideas, I am first going to do Life Surge, and this is me just playing around with this.
Go for
this is
it.
the first one. So this one, Life Surge, grants Drain until the end of this turn. So Drain means every time I hit, I would restore 2 HP, but I haven't used all my HP yet, so that's fine. Any of my HP yet. And it also gives me advantage on my next ability check. And by that I mean I'm about to use Jump on this guy on the left.
Okay.
And that is going to do the base effect is 2d6 plus 3 damage.
Yep.
And then if I pass the strength check with an advantage, I'll do an additional
2d6.
2d6.
Yep.
So,
And if you crit, all those get double. Now, you only have one jump per encounter.
Yes.
Or per phase. So it does have a limit, but it's powerful.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna first roll that, and then I'm gonna roll another d20 for the attack.
Jesus, 11 damage straight off the bat.
Yeah.
However, okay, that one doesn't hit. So roll your one other d20 to see if it.
Yeah. Okay, that didn't do much better.
So that would have been a 3 plus 5, right? So 8. Yeah. So it, unfortunately, you don't get a direct hit. With Jump, you can see Zaxi bends down, takes her polearm, leaps up into the air, and a moment later just comes diving back down, slamming right into the back of this thing, and then hopping off. Zaxi, you can pick any square around him too if you'd like to move. So like if you want to reposition, you can do that with a jump.
Yeah, I'm gonna position. I'm gonna get like over here to be out. Oh, yeah, to be out of the way of this guy, because if he decides to do another cone, oh, you know what? That would probably be over here then. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm good.
Belle, you're up.
I'm going to turn to the one that I haven't thundered yet, and I'm going to turn into a machine gun. I will thunder him at first. Bam.
Okay.
Wait, do I have to roll that? It just does the damage, right? It doesn't
Thunder just does the 3 damage, yeah, and then applies
and
the
then I roll
dot.
the d20 on their turn. Okay, yeah. So that'll give me the consecutive invocation, which then I will use Blizzard.
Okay.
Ooh.
They take 3 damage as the base effect, and I am now enchanted with Umbral Ice, allowing me to recover more mana. And if a 20 hits them, they take 6 more damage.
That definitely hits. Yes.
Beautiful. And
Must be nice.
One more thing. Give me just a second. Go ahead. You get 1 advantage because it's stunned too. So roll 1 more d20 just to see if that crits.
So just roll another Blizzard.
Just roll another d20. Straight d20. You can do it by clicking the little icon at the very bottom. It'll bring up the dice rolls. The big white one with the meteor symbol. If you click that, it'll just bring up...
Nice.
And you can just throw me another d20 on there. Okay. So no crit, but you still hit, so...
Yeah, okay. So yeah, 6 more damage, and then
Okay.
I will, with the consecutive invocation, I can still use focus. So I will focus,
Right.
and I will cast Scathe twice on it, dealing 6 more damage.
Okay. Okay. And that is a DPS right there.
Yeah.
Putting in the real damage.
6 total damage. Okay. Perfect. Is that
Black
your
Mage is
turn?
Scary, bro.
Okay. End of the adventure step. Regain your HP if you need to regain it. This first antling will walk. No, he doesn't need to walk down, does he?
No, it's
yeah.
just within 1.
Yeah, so he's just going to go ahead and do the same thing. He's going to trap Jaws to you as he kind of comes in. You take 5 damage base. Does 19 score a direct hit?
Yes.
Additional 8 damage.
So 5 plus 18. Oh, 5 plus 18. Jesus. 5 plus 8 is 13.
Right.
Jesus.
And then it will place a marker. It's going to take 1 step down. That's still within. I don't think there's anything like opportunity attacks in this. I'll have to double check. There might be instant abilities that allow you to do it, but I don't know. It'll place another marker on Vaughn, again a cone Vaughn, and then going out to the east. And then the other one is stunned. That brings us to the end of the enemy step. We've got 6
Ariel,
damage.
baby.
We've got 6 damage on the one on the left, right? And then also 6 on the one on the right.
Yeah. And then I didn't do this last phase because I'm a bad black mage, but I need to roll for my thundercloud procs on them when they take damage.
Okay.
So since both of them are affected, I'll roll it twice, and they happen on a 19 or 20. So first one, nothing. Second one.
Hey.
So the next the next lightning ability I use this phase costs 0 mana and deals an additional 6 damage.
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow. So you really just
Proc.
cracked this game, huh?
Thunder Pro.
Okay. Beautiful. So that brings us back to the adventure step. Vaughn, you're up.
Yes. So I am going to use my secondary ability first. I'm going to use Rampart first.
Okay.
Oh, I think there is a difference. Because these are... Okay, I think a whole battle is a phase, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I can't use that one. Then.
You
That's
can't
fine.
use Rampart again. Yeah.
No. I am going to use Berserk then.
Okay.
So all of my abilities deal an additional 2 damage.
Okay.
And then while I'm standing in between them both, I am going to cast Overpower again. I'm going to use Overpower.
Okay.
Here.
So
the
give
direct
me.
hit.
Yeah. Well, you only roll once, and it sees if it hits both.
No, I've already said that I'll do it.
18. So that will deal 2 damage plus an additional 2. Is that correct?
Yes. So they'll both take 4 damage.
Okay.
Like enmity on both targets.
Okay. The one to your left, what does it look like when you use Overpower?
So with Overpower, a lot of the traditional way you're taught to do it is you kind of channel a bit of that anger and energy, and you just kind of grab your axe and just slam it into the ground. The way that Voln does it is that because he's a little bit tinier, he hits the ground once to generate some like kinetic friction, and then he jumps, slides it under him, and then does a flip to hit the second one, which is the Overpower.
Nice.
And that's
Okay.
the one that generates a lot more of the energy and a lot of the rocks and whatever the ground is. It like separates it a little bit, and you can see little cracks that disappear. It's all aesthetic.
As you slam down into the ground, you can hear as the one on the left, the energy rippling out of you lances through it as it stills and crumbles onto the ground. The one on the left is down. The one on the right does not look good.
Cool.
R.I.P.
So
to
I've
that
used
guy.
Grandpa and I've used Overpower. I am going to kind of turn and look towards this one, and I'm just going to wield my axe and just get ready.
Okay. Ken.
At the end of his turn, Ken is going to use Swift Cast
Okay.
and is going to use Cure 2 on him.
Okay. Swift cast. Immediately use one of your magic abilities. Limit one per phase. So cure
But you
2.
can
Go
only
ahead.
do it once someone finishes their turn.
Yep. So that's instant abilities in this game
Damn.
are like legendary actions. So that you can trigger them like at the end of someone's turn or
Wait, what?
or like some of them are. I mean, the trigger is when any character finishes their turn. A lot of the instant abilities trigger like that, just like he just did. Some of them trigger
14.
off of other things. You just have to pay attention to what the trigger is. So yeah, 14 damage, 14 healing.
I did not. Yeah, I did not crit though. That should have you good.
Yeah, I'm back up again.
Lit.
I'm ready to fight a bitch.
We are going to use. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're gonna use Stone 2, and then we're going to immediately Presence of Mind to Stone 2 again.
Okay.
And we're gonna throw 2 Stone 2s at him.
Go for it.
He's gonna get stoned.
Right.
He's gonna get stoned, and that's
So
an
this is the first
inspiration
one,
joke right
and
there.
This is the second one. So let's see. God damn it.
4 total damage. Both of those would.
10 doesn't hit. 10 doesn't hit.
10
so
doesn't hit.
4.
Let me check their magic. Their magic defense is lower than their defense, but it doesn't hit. 4 total damage. How do you kill this thing?
Oh, it's 100% just a bunch of rocks shooting up from the ground.
You throw your healing spell out, and then immediately just kind of close your eyes and lift all these rocks up, and you can see all the rocks around just start to tremble and rise off the ground, and they start slamming into it crisscross from all sorts of different directions, battering it back and forth. As Vaughn is standing there, he realizes what's happening as he just kind of relaxes a little bit and takes it all in as the stones just slam into this thing, beating it into the ground until it eventually lies in the sand, unmoving.
Oh, shoot. I just realized I used a lot. Oh, never mind. Presence of Mind doesn't use. Or Swiftcast don't use it. Good. So never mind. I would to take away 4 first.
That brings us to the end of our first encounter. Something unique about the Final Fantasy XIV game, outside of combat, all of your HP and MP restores. So you basically go into fights fully healed each time, much like you would in the game. So now that combat is over, your resources return. As you stand here with the 2 antlings now lying in the dirt, doing the final twitches of having been murdered, one of the guards runs up. Oh, God. You managed to get those 2. Is anyone hurt?
No, we're fine.
We're good.
Very well.
Are you?
Are
no,
you?
We're good. We're good, I think.
Are you sure? I don't mind healing you.
Give me a mind check.
Yeah, sure. I have a very high mind. Okay, that came
Same.
out. How's that?
Oh, somebody's full of themselves.
Guys, I'm about to say, Ken is blazed 24/7.
No wonder he got the guy stoned.
16.
Okay, 16.
He's hurt. You know, he's playing it up, but you can see that one of his arms is hanging a little bit lower. He tends to like not be moving it too much. He probably has some kind of injury to his shoulder or something.
What about the other guy?
The other guy hasn't come up. He's just kind of found a tree and just kind of slumped back against it. He's breathing hard, but he doesn't look like he has any, life-threatening injuries.
Okay, cool. He immediately goes to the other guy to make sure he's good first since he seemingly can't stand. But yeah, he's gonna immediately heal them up both.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, you check him out. There's not really anything life-threatening. He just seems more winded than anything. But
Okay.
as you heal them both, they're like, "Oh, perhaps I was a little worse for wear than I realized." Huh. Thank you. Um, Sorry about that. We have been having some problems with antlings here lately. Um, I think, especially here, I think they're attracted to the blood. We should have we should have prepared for that a bit better. I apologize.
Well,
Lucky we
it's
were
no
here.
It is actually very lucky. Sorry about that business before. Trying to turn you away. It's fortunate you were here.
regardless, just try to stay safe. I would hate for you all to get hurt while we're gone.
Of course, of course. Did you manage to find anything?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was reading this note about things I can do. Actually, yeah, there's a menage or I say the creature's name. Tracks.
A menage a trois.
Oh,
I almost said it. I was
Amalja.
like, no, that's not it. Yeah.
Amalja. Oh,
And
you found Amalja tracks. Here. You think
right over there, actually.
you think that you think they were the ones that ambushed the cart? Stole the crystals?
Makes sense on why the weapons and food and water are still in the bodies.
I can't imagine what such beasts would want with crystals. Well, um, you've managed to find more than we have, staking them out here. What's the next plan of action?
I don't know. I've never hunted one of these, if I'm being honest.
I haven't either, but my father and mother would teach me all about them, more so as a way to keep me and my sibling to stay out of certain parts of the desert.
So we
Yes.
just do the opposite of what you were told.
I guess the problem is the problem is mostly perspective. A lot of people think they're a race of savage beasts, but they're actually quite intelligent and have an entire society.
I mean, I would argue what you did was pretty savage, but
Regardless, we can't treat them as beasts or trifle lightly. They'll be a lot smarter than those ant. What are they called? What were the ant creatures called? The
Antlings.
antlings. They'll be way smarter than the antlings are. There are even some of them. Some of the sects of their society even have black mage or thaumaturge. Regardless,
I
we
can
need
say
to
I've
be
never
on
heard
guard.
anything good about them. You claim they're
Regardless,
intelligent, but I've heard they're all nothing but bloodthirsty beasts.
well, so are most politicians, I would argue. Regardless,
Ah!
we need to be on guard. You two need to stay here on post like your boss told you. You are not required to come with. Also, I would prefer if you stayed. The four of us need to continue on, but we need to be as unseen as we possibly can. Because if we're all ganged up on, it's going to be over. Does that sound like a plan?
Staying here sounds like a plan to me.
Listen, he does not get paid enough.
He does not, and he just fought off some antlings. He is not going after the Amalja with you.
He is 100% acting his wage.
Yeah.
Go
We-
off, King.
we love
We
that
love to
for
see it.
Acting
get
his
it.
wage. Sorry,
Have you
I
not
missed
heard
it.
that? Well,
I feel like I've heard you say it before, but it makes me laugh every time.
I love when you act your wage.
So, what's your next steps?
figure out more, I suppose.
Stealthily, I would hope.
I did hear that there may be some people that saw something. You might be able to get some more information at the local taverns. Um, sorry, still heads ringing just a little bit. Um, The Coffer and Coffin, I think, is the closest one to here. You might be able to find some people there, or if you know where you're going, by all means. But there may have been someone that saw something.
Do you all mind? Do you all mind taking a detour?
Sure, I could use
if we
some
get
food
more
anyways.
information.
All that fighting made me so hungry.
Do you know how to get there?
Do the old
Jeffrey
Oracle
knows how to
thing.
get everywhere, but just in case he doesn't, why don't you tell me?
Mhm.
Why don't you give us a point?
He points.
Look at the circus Jeffrey.
He points off to the west a little bit. That's maybe a 5-minute walk that way.
Oh, perfect.
That's why I think someone may have seen something there. Someone taking a piss in the alley. I don't know, but that would be my best. That would be my best bet, and where we would go next if you hadn't shown up. Possibly where the people before you went. They could still be there for all we know.
Knock some sense into them. They're not already dead.
You think they're
Oh
dead?
well, we're here now. Well, it's her whole team goes missing after getting a job. They don't turn up. They take everything. Either they've abandoned or they've died. And considering they've said no to a job that they've already said that they were going to do, let's hope that they've died. So that way at least we know where they are. We can take the stuff. We can use it.
Oh,
You're going
that's
to
not.
Steal off of a dead adventurer.
Well, they're not going to need it
It's
anymore.
really stealing if it's if it's not.
We
technically
are
their
not
property
stealing
anymore.
from a dead
It's
adventurer.
not.
I
They
don't
go-
understand why we have to have
Right.
this conversation every
It's-
time.
Jeffrey,
It's not
to the
stealing
bar.
if they can't say no.
Regardless, we're going to go to the
Understood.
bar.
The two of them look at each other. Very well. Be on your way. They all of a sudden seem very uneasy, especially around Voln.
Aw.
He's just Vaughn is standing there just doing a little Lalafell thing.
They kind of take back up their positions. You can see they starting to look around at the antlings, trying to decide what they need to do with all the corpses. But the four of you mounting up your chocobos, are you heading to the Coffer and Coffin, or would you like to go somewhere else? You have some tracks in a general direction that's not heading to the Coffer and Coffin, but you kind of lost them, but that doesn't mean you can't pick them up again. What do you want to do?
Let's split the party. I'm joking. I vote we go to the coffer and coffin.
Yeah, I think a little more information wouldn't hurt. And we kind of know the general direction, so even if we maybe lose those tracks, we could just go that way.
Okay. So yeah, you get to the Coffer and Coffin really quick. It's about a 5-minute walk. Your chocobos make it like 2 minutes tops. I mean, you can see it from where you were, and the wagon itself was off the beaten path. It's not unlikely that they weren't heading to the Coffer and Coffin to maybe grab a drink or something or get some food. It would make sense now that you're kind of seeing the path that they had pulled off the road that maybe they were going to make a pit stop. So it isn't that far from the main road. As you go in, it is much smaller than the quicksand. It is a very small kind of local place. There's quite a few people in here though, and you can see that primarily it's miners or just tradesmen traveling the roads. A different kind of clientele than the quicksand, and a little bit rougher. As you walk in, you kind of take a look around. People look over at you and just kind of acknowledge you for a second, and then just go back to their drinks. No one's paying you too much attention. It's not really unusual for adventurers or travelers to come in off the road here.
Vaughn's
So what do you
gonna
wanna
walk
do?
up to the bar and order a drink.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you down there. Oh, we're gonna get you.
Let's get some of that old on ale.
Of course. Only the finest
Quiet
here.
taste, but it goes down nicely.
Kind of pours you a nice glass and slides it your way. Traveling? Heading to Old Dollar yourself?
Looking for some people, but to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention.
Fair enough.
The one in white, the one in black, and the dragoon over there, they know a bit more than I do. I'm just thirsty.
Oh, if you need any information. I work for Gil.
Oh, so he's gonna slip across the guild for the,
Thank you kindly. He takes it, gives it a flip, puts it in his pocket, goes back to cleaning out some glasses. What are the rest of you doing?
Ken is going to look for anyone who looks like they work for the people we're looking. I don't remember if they're specifically miners or if they are more like above ground jobs.
They're more of the corporate, if that makes sense. They're more of the ones that oversee operations, the ones that handle logistics and things like that. That's the actual people that's employed you.
Then he would look for people who look like they might work for them or anyone who is wearing the seal or sigil or whatever we were given, or anyone who looks like they would work in the desert or would travel traveling through the.
Okay, that's pretty much everybody.
Or has a pulse, or it looks like they're breathing.
Yeah, everybody in here's kind of dressed for desert travel, except for you all, who have your job garments and are probably sweating up a storm. Every time I go to like Thanalan as my red mage, I'm like, dude, take your coat off. Like he's just like.
If you're a red mage. You know that they dress for style rather than function.
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah.
And every time I'm in one of these places, I'm just imagining like, God, he's got to be burning up.
Who wears a leather jacket in the desert?
And that big hat. Never take off the hat. So, there's a couple people around. Everybody here. Sorry. Go ahead.
Say merchants. That probably would be the best people to go to.
Give me an intelligence check. Just trying to discern like what people might be doing, or what their function is.
You got this. Okay, 14.
14's high enough. You see that there is a Elizan fellow who is just being very chatty and very just kind of boisterous. You can tell that he's probably been drinking for a while. Based on his clothes, he definitely is probably a merchant of some kind. He wears very fine silks. The bag that he has is of a very high quality leather, and he's just like, "Hey, that's right. I took him for 1,200 gil, if you can believe that. I know what you're thinking. There's no way somebody paid for that. But they did."
Yeah, Ken walks up to this man telling a story about how he most likely scammed someone, and...
Hey, you come for a tale, have you?
More so information.
That's a form of a tale. What can I do for you?
I was wondering...
Oh. Sorry, what? Oh, you're still talking.
Sorry. So my boyfriend randomly met me.
Well, if you've got something to take care of, don't let me stop you.
Ken's boyfriend randomly messaged me.
You're like, what the link pro? No. Shut up!
No, but Ken says, we're looking for people who have been killed in the desert. People who work for the... What's the company called?
The full name?
Yes, DM.
It is the Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern.
That one.
Commonly known as the Concern.
People working for the Concern, and essentially their wares were stolen by the...
that's dirty business.
Amagir. They're not called the Amagir.
Amaja people?
Amaja, thank you.
Amaja.
Yes, and some people were taken after being sent to search. I wanted to know if you have noticed anything odd while traveling through.
I did hear something. yesterday I was in here nursing a pint. I don't do that often. Mind, I just was at some business nearby, and I thought I'd stop in for a quick drink. Anyway, I was getting all nice and comfy, and then there comes this roar, like this a noise, right? Yeah, it's just like that, and it's off to the east, the north. No, that way. It's off that way, and that sobered me up right quick. Really, I mean, it just you can hear. Well, sorry. They sounded like monsters or some such. Sorry, what? What were we talking about? Oh, the noise. Yeah, this was probably right around when the sun was going away.
Hmm. Ken is going to lock that in and then go to the other two. Say, oh, sorry. He will leave. He will leave enough guild for a pint for this man.
You, sir, are my best friend. Another one, please.
And then he goes to the other two. He says, "So it seems that there is some noise heard at night. Seems like if we want to find anything, nighttime may be the best time to travel. The biggest problem is it'll affect us. Well, it'll affect everyone but Zaxi."
I don't mind leading if you guys want to follow.
I just don't know if it's worth the risk. I know that the Amalja also have better sight at night than I.
Or your eyes.
Can I see in the dark?
I don't think Rogue can. I'm pretty sure they're very similar to Huron that way.
Yeah. Specialized.
I mean, you could definitely make us a torture tube.
Tabaxi would be better suited because of their, cat eyes, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
They would just be able to see better naturally. Yeah. I will say, the game itself doesn't put as much emphasis on like dark vision as D&D does.
Yeah.
But I like it because you pointed it out, and it gives Zaxi's character a little bit of a custom flair. So I'm gonna roll with it. She would be able to see the best at night.
I was actually just thinking about that earlier. There was another thing where I was like, I feel like I would have, like, if we were talking about like race traits, I was like, I feel like Zaxi would have advantage on X thing. I was like, but we don't really have race traits in this one.
Yeah, in this one, they kind of downplayed the race traits and things like that, which, 14 kind of does anyway. I think they're there, but they don't really do much. I think you might get like
anymore.
Yeah, do they even do anything at all anymore? They all rolled them back.
No,
yeah,
it's
at one
really
point,
just aesthetic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at one point Dark Elves could do something, but regardless, yeah, you see, he says, "Okay, I wouldn't mind being led by Zaxi. We'll just have to be on our guard."
Okay.
It seems like traveling at night will be the best way to at least find abnormal. He looks towards Vaughn, who's talking more.
Oh, I just have a drink. I've spun around, had a drink. I'm just looking around, watching.
Go off, King.
Okay.
I need both hands to drink from the tankard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's so big. Yeah, they poured it up. They poured it up good for you too. Okay. What is the plan then? Is the plan to wait until after nightfall, head back to the scene of the crime, and then, or head out in the generalized direction you saw the tracks, or what do you want to do? Like, what is the plan going forward?
Above board, it might be good to just start traveling now. Wait till night. See what we.
This is the thing. Like walk in the direction that the footprints were going, and then find a little place to camp along that way, and then see if we can't hear anything.
Okay. As you all head out, I'm going to need an intelligence check from all of you.
Oof, yikes.
Okay, so 14, 6, 16, and 13 is what I'm seeing, right? As per usual, this is Bell's area of expertise, any kind of investigation. You head back in the direction to the west, and then you catch up. Bell kind of takes you back, and the two guards, they see you coming, and they just kind of keep to themselves and both kind of just whispering at each other as they watch you kind of do your thing. They're keeping their distance now, though. Bell takes you back to the area where he saw the footprints, and you kind of pick up the general direction of the way they were headed, and you start walking in that direction for a little bit. After about 5 minutes, Bell, you pick up on some other tracks. Some looks like wagon tracks. With a 16, you get a little bit more information. You see the wagon now, or the tracks of the wagon, and on either side of them, you still see some of those Amalja footprints. But you also see another set of footprints, a four-legged beast of some kind, likely draconic in nature, probably a small or medium-sized drake with them as well.
Ooh, okay. I will definitely convey that. They have some sort of drake companion with them.
Ooh.
If you continue to follow the tracks, which I'm assuming you're doing,
Yeah.
you continue to follow the tracks. They lead you past the station and to the east. So you kind of come back. I think I said this the right way, hopefully. Coffin Coffin was to the west, so it's kind of leading you off to the east in the opposite direction of the Coffin Coffin. Leads you to a big bridge that separates the Black Brush from the Clutch, which are just two different regions of the area. Below the bridge passes the merest trickle of a river, known as Soot Creek. It flows from a cave to the north that you can see. The tracks appear to avoid the bridge entirely, instead vanishing into the river's waters.
Ooh.
Oh. We're not in the bar anymore. My bad. We've gone back out for traveling.
Yay!
So what do you do?
Hmm.
Vaughn is going to hop off the chocobo and see if there's any other information that they can discern on the direction, or whether there's like a conglomeration of the footprints, whether there is a general idea of whether the drake is like one or if there's many, depending on how many.
Okay.
And he's just going to have a quick look around to discern numbers, basically.
Intelligence check.
Really fucking bad at.
Got a 0 on intelligence, do you?
Yep.
It's hard to see. All you really notice, you see the tracks. Now, they pointed them out. It looks like they pulled it into the river, and then they disappear. That's all you can see.
Vaughn is going to turn around and say, being closer to the ground doesn't necessarily let me see any better, so somebody else wants to have a shot.
I'm about to say, can I just take a peek around, see what's going on?
Yeah, maybe all of us just do intelligence.
Yeah, go for it.
Somebody's gotta see something, right?
5. It's not
Not
you.
me, though.
Don't worry,
not
guys.
me.
I
6
got this.
and a 23.
Guys,
The-
we can't be this bad.
The three of you, everyone but Belle, is just standing at the edge of the river where the tracks just disappear into the water. And you're kind of just staring at it. You're looking around. You're not really sure what to do. You don't see where they could have gone. Belle walks up and just kind of walks past the three of you As you look, he's staring directly at the cave that the water runs into.
I completely forgot there was a cave.
If the tracks go into the water and don't come out the other end, Bell,
Have walked through the water.
it's pretty easy to deduce that it probably went along the river
Yeah.
into the cave.
Is it a flat river, or is there a decline at all?
It's bumpy. It's not like very smooth. It's kind of hard to walk, but it never goes at this point above your knee. Now it'll be higher on like a Lalafell, but for you, it's easily wadeable.
Okay.
Oh, I hate water. Oh, do we really have to go?
DM, can Kin take a minute and he holds his staff to his focuses. Can he speak to I would like to see if there's some sort of check he may speak to the nature around him and see if he feels anything.
Are you basically just trying to fill anything from the general, like the nature of the place?
I guess you could. Well, so I guess this would be more of like a third eye white mage check since they are in tuned with Aether and the nature around them. So I guess that's kind of what I'm going for.
Okay. Give me a mind check.
Oh, thank God. There we go. You got this, King.
Give me
You
a
don't
better
have
mind
this,
check
King.
than that. You close your eyes and you call out to the world. You feel for the ether around you. You try to tap into it, and you feel it. You feel it all around you, the trees, the rocks, your companions. But you're just not getting anything specific that's helping in this moment.
There's too much heat here. It's all almost like a bunch of people yelling in my ear. Can't sense anything, so it looks like we're gonna do this the old-fashioned.
At this point, let's see. Everybody give me.
No.
Yeah. Do mind check. Everybody give me a mind check.
Okay.
I like the little gif you put in the players skill.
I'll have to check that. I never get to see the stuff till we
Jesus
get done.
Christ, Ken, what are you doing?
It makes me laugh that you're like, maybe cats don't like water, and the Lalafell's looking at you while the water's up to their neck. This little creek. Like, yes, must be upsetting.
So let's see. What was our highest? 10? Luckily 10 was what I was looking for, so you barely made it. So the cave is not necessarily like right there. The cave is still a ways down, but as you kind of start to make your way towards that, Vaughn puts a hand up, just kind of stops everybody from walking. As you see a figure kind of approaching from the east, further closer to the cave. They seem like they're trying to be very quiet. They're looking around. They don't seem to notice you at this point, though. They kind of look around. They have a hood up. It's very hard to see who they are. It's hard to see what they are. The most you can tell is they're probably not Rogadin, because they're just not that big. You see him kind of walk up to the entrance of this cave. He's just kind of standing there.
What are they dressed?
And we're still a bit further back from it.
You're still a bit further back. You can't hear what they're saying from this point, and you're far enough away to where he hasn't noticed you at the moment.
Just gonna.
He kind of just starts gesturing into the cave.
What are they dressed at? Or what are they dressed
All you can really
They're
make is that they're wearing a really dark cloak with the hood up. They're definitely, whoever they are, trying to conceal their identity.
Not quite sure what they are.
Yeah, can we maybe try to sneak a little bit closer?
You want to sneak a little bit closer?
Don't.
Yeah, I say
Let's
we
do it.
sneak a little closer.
Dexterity?
Dexterity. Dexterity checks from everybody, please.
Ken!
23!
23.
I'm like a cat.
Ken
All right.
has been doing awfully.
Yeah, so Zaxi nailed it with a 23. 5, 10, 11. Okay. You start to sneak a little bit closer. 5 is really low.
The three of us just kind of hide behind rocks. Kin's just out in the open.
So what I will say, now that you're a little bit closer, Zaxi, the only one, because Zaxi's able to get a little bit further ahead. Go ahead and give me a mind check.
Uh-oh.
Why are we rolling so
Five.
badly?
I'm gonna use my initiative.
Go use your advantage.
On that, because that was
Guys, what is happening? What did we do to get done like this by alchemy?
Yeah, right?
8.
Okay, not better. A little bit better, but
You get a little bit closer, and you're trying to make out some of the features, but you can't. Even the hood itself, you can't really make out anything. You get close enough to see that this figure is speaking to an Amalja. You've seen these before. They are large creatures. They're taller even than your friend Belle. And they're talking, but you can't make out what they're saying. As you try to creep just a little bit closer, you hear a branch or something. Probably wouldn't be a lot of branches here. You hear some noise behind you as you turn around to see that that Ken has kicked a rock. Let's say he kicked a rock. The figure spins towards you too, as the Amalja looks in your direction as well. They don't see you, Zaxi. But the figure...
Check to hide behind something.
I will let everyone else that rolled below a 10 on their stealth check to give me one more dex check.
Below 10. Okay, so me and Belle aren't good.
Yep.
You said below 10?
Yeah, if you roll below 10 the first time, you can roll me one more dex check.
Come on. Jesus.
19.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay. Did
You
anyone
immediately see Ken hits the deck.
Just straight up. You get the feeling, Zaxi, as you're just looking, that they don't actually see anybody, but they definitely heard something. The hooded figure turns back to the Amalja, and he says something else, and then he turns quickly on his heel and heads off back to the east. He disappears from your sight around the back of a big tree that's not too far away. And that's the last you see of him. As the Amalja gives one kind of final look out, and then turns and disappears back into the cave.
I am so...
At this point, the three of you are able to catch back up with Zaxi. What's the plan?
I am so sorry.
it happens.
Find anything.
We'll practice it. I could not see who they were, or hear them at all. So I guess the answer is no, but they were talking to the Amalja. So they did not seem to not know each other.
That
So they had a
is
past.
odd.
Well then, we have two things we can do. We can either chase after the person, or we can go inside.
The people take priority. I highly doubt this person who most likely didn't want anything to do with body.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he says, I highly doubt that person had much to do with people's body. Potentially.
Cutting out some more. But I think he's saying that person had little to do with the dead
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Am I still cutting out?
It's only
Yeah.
because you're getting quieter. Your mic sensitivity in Discord might just be a bit too low. So when you go quieter to speak low or whatever, it cuts out a little bit.
Oh,
That's all
that's
it
weird.
is.
I'm sorry.
So what's
Discord
the
has
gist?
issues with that.
Are you
I
saying...
think we're gonna go to the cave. I think we're gonna go in the cave.
Okay.
So weird. My mic sensitivity is way.
As you stand there, looking back and forth, making the decision to head on into the cave, you steel yourselves and begin marching in that direction, having to go down into the water a little ways as you get closer and closer to the cave. You can see that the rocks and ground are uneven beneath you, but it's easy enough to make your way in. As you find yourself standing at the front of the cave, you take one deep, steadying breath and enter what you can only assume is the land of the Amalja. And that's where we're going to end our first episode of Kupo Quest Eorzea. So, thank you all for playing. I had fun. I'm glad we got to do a little encounter, a little RP. Less hiccups than I was expecting, to be honest.
Clearly, we
So-
all level up, right, DM?
No!
There is no leveling up in this one at the moment.
No, that's not how this works. So, I can touch on that. With the system itself, there is actually there's no experience system in this game. What it is instead is they have different levels of the jobs. So I've only sent you all the level 30 job sheet right now to not overwhelm you. As we go, you will level up, but it's more like milestone leveling. At one point, you'll go from level 30 to 40, and I'll send you the new sheets. I just didn't want to send you everything and overwhelm you, right? So you will there are 2 level ups, so it goes from 30, 40, and then 50 over the course of the intro scenarios that they provided us with. So that brings us to the end of our first episode. I had fun. I think alchemy worked pretty well. I need to update some things.
Pretty good.
If you all could remind me, if you remember, which ones you noticed weren't rolling appropriately for you, just send me a message and I'll make sure to double check them. If not, I'll just go in and make sure that I'm not adding things when I shouldn't. But I think for a module I had to build from the ground up, it worked okay.
Yeah,
You've done a pretty good job
very
since
good.
you've done it from scratch.
So,
and we can only make it better from here.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Do you notice the little? I don't think they can see it on the stream, but did you notice I put the little meteor symbol on the main bar down
It is
there?
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for playing, for trying this game out with me. I had fun playing it. I really can't wait for next episode. If you enjoyed this, people that are watching, this group does have another Final Fantasy based campaign. It is D&D 5e. But what it is, it's a homebrew world that kind of takes all the different Final Fantasies and meshes them together. You've got stuff from 8, 7, 6, all of them.
You could almost call it a world of Final Fantasy.
Kind of, but it's not that. But that is called Kupo Quest. You can find that on the channel too. So there's more. We're on 65, episode 65 of that. But we just started a brand new arc, and we just introduced one of the most iconic villains in the Final Fantasy franchise. So, or just didn't we met them a little ways before, but they just kind of came into play. So check that
They
out.
weren't introduced, but we knew.
You knew. But yeah, so the way that we're going to be doing this is Kupo Quest Eorzea and Kupo Quest are going to be going back and forth. We always stream Monday nights at 9:30. The episode usually goes up on YouTube the very next day. And so it'll be 2 weeks before we come back to this, but there'll be a normal Kupo Quest next week. Anyway, thank you all for playing. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we get out of here? No. How'd we like it? Did we like it? I mean, I know
Yeah.
we just had a
Yeah,
little
I
taste
like
so
it.
far, but
Good so
Yeah,
far.
that was cool.
I didn't
So
like
far.
I didn't like stunning my antlings. I didn't like that. We'll have to make up for that at a later date.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
So
There are always thoughts, but no. I mean, considering it's a brand new thing, everyone's working on it for the first time. It's like literally a brand new thing. Like,
yeah,
you can't really pass too many comments on it. It's enjoyable. It's fun. That's all
yeah,
that matters.
and I think
We'll
it.
get
I
more
think it.
comfy with it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I found myself having to reference your sheets a lot just to make sure I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But
It was
definitely
basically
not
flipping between the rule book, like the pages you sent us, and then also the alchemy.
right. Yeah. Yeah, our 5e game is smoother because we're all more familiar with that system.
Yes,
But
of course.
yeah, I enjoyed this. But yeah, check that out too if you enjoyed this. Don't sleep on the original Kupo quest because we've been having a lot of fun with that one for almost 2 years now,
Have we?
and
Yeah.
got a pretty epic story going on. I think that's
Mostly.
oh, it's gone so many different directions. It
And
started out so
we
simple.
also
A lot of real
we also
dumb
have
ones.
Golden Vault,
Oh yeah, Golden Vault on Wednesdays.
We got a lot of stuff.
and then on the Thursdays we've got Dragonbane or Temptations. That's a swap around as well.
Yep. So that's another 3 shows. Golden Vault
Mhm.
is 5e also with a rotating cast. So we've got different people for each heist, and it's much more comedic. I think it's a much lighter tone than some of the other
Yeah.
shows that we have.
This week is a great week to start it because we're starting a new heist this
That's true.
Wednesday.
So new switching up the cast a little bit, the characters, new heist, and each heist has a different tone. So the first one was rather comedic. I imagine just based on our DM, we'll have a comedic through line for all of them, but each one's a different kind of setting and tone. So it's kind of an interesting concept. Temptations is DM'd by our friend Psychic down there. Great, another 5e system. I'm playing in that one though, and it's great. And then Dragonbane is a free league system that's that we play on every other Thursday as well. That was my pitch. I think I'm out. So
Join the Discord.
if you enjoyed this, yeah, reach out, join the Discord, hop in. We're always looking to talk to people. We do have a Patreon too. You can join for free if you want to just keep up on updates. And then the lowest tier's $1 if you just want to pitch in and help me afford Sirenscape. So that's pretty much what it's for. But until then, thank you all for watching. Big shout out to Kellen, who's been with a Kupo quest since the very beginning, and I hope joins us for this quest as well. And for all of you that may have found this new, I hope you enjoy the game. And be sure to check out. We'll have more coming, and I'll make some more videos for 14 as well because I'm really liking this system so far. And then last shout out, Alchemy. I really enjoyed your VTT, so. I'm gonna drag some of my players into it, kicking and screaming whether they want to play it or not. 'Cause it was great. It was really good. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. Have a great night. See you in a couple days. Lally ho, friends.